Welcome to Popcorn and Perspective. This is the place where we not only enjoy buttery popcorn, emphasis on buttery, but we also dive deep into the world of film. We're your hosts. I'm Chantal.
And hey, I'm Chris, and we are back again, and I am definitely still judging those watch lists.
So, we are also here to share our insights on new releases, timeless classics, and movies or shows you accidentally watch at 2 a.m. and then couldn't stop thinking about. Get ready to experience art like never before because we've got options and we're not shy about them. And welcome to today's show. This time around, we're talking about streaming gems, the, the ender, sorry y'all, the underrated, underappreciated, blink and you'll miss film movies and series hiding in your streaming apps while Netflix keeps pushing the same three titles. But before we get into that, I want to make a quick list. I promise, quickish. Since we're still in Black History Month, we thought it was only right to shout out our top five Black films. And yes, five is widely unfair. There are at least 20 we can name off the rip, but we're showing restraint today. So, big bro, top five Black films. Do not stress, or you can if you want to. That's the fun part.
All right, and because I follow rules like an elephant knows how to fly, I picked six instead of five. And I'm sorry, but like she said, there's so many that we can put on this list. And if your favorite isn't on this list or I missed something, don't hate me for it. My black card, I honor it. I keep it tightly in hand. So, all right, starting off the top, we're going with a classic, Boys in the Hood. This was the foundation, and it was a film that forced the truth of what's really going out there in the Black community. And it's crazy that it still feel like it's still what's going on today. So, Boys in the Hood is number one. Number two is going to be Black Panther. Panther? I don't know what that movie is, but Black Panther is a cultural reset. Wakanda Forever gave Black audiences a future to look forward to. It gave little kids the image to be able to look on their screen and see a strong Black character as far as superhero. And it's a movie that the world just had to watch. And even the people who didn't accept it, they had to just be engulfed in it anyway. Like there was so much hatred for this movie from the standpoint of it just being a Black character on the screen, but even the hatred didn't overpower the greatness of this film and the cultural just renaissance it had. So that is the number two. Number three is going to be Sinners. It's bold, it's genre bending, and it's pure Black cinema. It's a story rooted in Black history, Black trauma, and survival. And it was told in a way that feels like it's fanciful, as far as obviously there's no vampires coming around the corner, but like it just feels possible because it has so much real world elements from the racism, right, the costumes, right, the music, and the Irish, just blending so many cultures. Yeah. So three is going to be Sinners. Number four is going to be my man Nino Brown, Wesley Snipes. New Jack City. You had Ice-T, Wesley Snipes, Chris Rock. It was just such a good cast, and it was an era-defining crime saga. And Nino Brown remains one of the most iconic figures in film to this day. So that's number four, New Jack City. Number five, we're gonna go to Craig and Day Day, and Craig and Smokey. Craig and Day Day come later, but I'm talking about number one, Friday. And this has got to be the most rewatchable Black movie ever made. Huh?
I was about to be like, hold on. I was like, not Craig.
Oh, yeah. We not going past one. We going Smokey, Craig, and Debo. Like I said, this has got to be one of the most rewatchable Black movies ever made. The quotes, the characters, and the moments, they're going to live forever. Like, if you say, oh, I don't like two, and the rest of them, that's fine. But I don't know too many people that don't like part one. So number five is going to be Friday. And number six, going to be Kid and Play. Kid and Play House Party. I absolutely love this movie. I die laughing to this day. And it shows that not only is trauma and pain a part of the Black history, but the joy and the youth, the music, laughter, freedom, it all captured it perfectly. And it was, like I said, to this day, it's one of the funniest ones. And once again, I follow rules like an elephant flies. Honorable mention is going to be Get Out, a modern classic that proves Black stories can redeem entire genres. And that is my list, everybody.
Okay, I'm like, look, I gotta give it to you because it was hard. It was really hard
to
figure out look, y'all. Like Hey, it was like a back and forth because when you said Get Out, I was gonna put that in there, but then I was like, no, I want to put this in there. So, all
Like
right,
you said
this
in like you said in the beginning, it's so many. Like I literally have three in mind right now. It's just so many.
it's a lot. It's just so many, and it's just like we can't give everybody their flowers, even though we want to give everybody their flowers, y'all. We really wish we could, but so I'm just gonna go ahead and give my five. So it's don't stress me out. All right. So I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go descending. I'm not gonna go. It said I'm gonna descend. So with five, mine's is gonna be a little different. My one. Wait, what was your one again?
Boys in the Hood.
Okay, where was Sinners?
Sinners was number three.
Okay, mine's is five. So Sinners is five for me. I literally just watched this. I literally watched this movie last night. Again, this movie to me was just something amazing, astonishing. Like my brother said, is definitely black cinema. It definitely gave a light to our culture, the different genres of music that yes, that we did create. People don't get it twisted. Um, just the way it was shot, the way everything moved in the film, with just with horror and just the it was it's just a lot that went on, and it's like we
Yeah.
talked about this a few times, y'all, so I ain't gonna get into it too much. So my number five is gonna be Sinners.
We did a whole
And
show about it. So
exactly, so we ain't gotta talk about too much. So my number four is gonna be another one of Ryan Coogler's. It's gonna be Black Panther. Like once again, my brother said that was another one for us. That was cultural phenomenon. It was the moment that we had a superhero that we could believe in, that we knew that we could be a part of. It was just black royalty. Everybody showed up and showed out. I think I saw that movie 5 times in movie theater. So hey, that was a moment. If we can go back, I'm like, I wish we could just to be able to relive that. If I can just push somebody off a cliff, just to see that movie one more time in the theater, I will do it. So like,
and
don't.
just to dive in on that Black Panther thing, the one thing that made Black Panther so good for the culture was that it wasn't some janitor that slipped and fell into some ooze and got superpowers. This
Exactly.
man came from royalty. He was the prince
Ding
of
ding
his
ding ding ding.
whole, like a whole nation. Like it wasn't like, oh, I was cleaning the rafters and I fell into some radiation. No, I am rich, I am powerful, I'm
I'm a
rich and powerful
king.
without this suit. I'm even more with the suit. Don't play with me. So that was what made
Yes.
it amazing.
It was a powerful moment for us, and it was a beautiful moment as well. My number three, this movie I remember ever since I was a kid. I and look at that time I was 10. I shouldn't have even been watching this movie. But look, this movie was amazing. It's Eve's Bayou. I don't know.
Oh,
It's
I
definitely
forgot.
one of those. It's like an American Southern Gothic. Um,
Yeah.
it's a drama piece. It's something that was beautifully made, and it definitely surrounds like a story about women. And I just love this movie. And then with Journey Smollett, who we still know to this day, who started out in this movie, who was phenomenal, might I add. Which I fell in love with her then, and I'm like, I'm a kid, so it's like I'm watching her grow up, just falling in love with her. But anyway, um, it has Lynn Whitfield, it has Samuel L. Jackson, it has Debbie Morgan, of course, and it also has Megan Good in it as well. So this movie was stacked. This movie was amazing. It's also very traumatic, but it's also, I guess you could say, refreshing in a sense. I guess you could say, um, for like movies that I've never seen before done like this for us at all. So I just loved what this movie represented. So if anybody has not seen Ease by You, please watch it. My number two, which is another oldie, another one that I probably shouldn't have been watching because I was like 7 when it came out. It was the Inkwell. So that was with Lorenz Tate, Jada Suzanne Douglas, Joe Morton, Glenn Truman. Like this was another one where it's like a coming of age story about this kid who goes to Martha's Vineyard for the summer. And, he just comes into he just comes into age, just learning about himself, just like meeting family that he's never seen for the first time, and it's just it's just one of them feel good movies. You got the soundtrack, you got the 70s look. Like it was just one of those movies that is just fun and it's funny and it's also has like its sad moments because there is a moment in the movie because the main character does accidentally burn his house down, but which is kind of sucky. But yeah, the movie is really good and it still holds up well even after all these years. Like mostly like these last three movies actually still hold up to this day.
Yeah.
So my last one, it took. I was like, look, I fell in love with this movie. This movie was definitely ones that I watched and I still love, and I find myself quoting till this day because it's one of my favorite scenes in this movie that deals with a dog. It's the movie Crooklyn.
Yes. Yes.
It's another period piece. It's another one from the 70s. You got that 70s look, the soundtrack. Of course, another one with Delroy Lindo. You got Alfred Woodard, and it's another one that's stacked, and of course, it's done by Spike Lee. Um, and I just love it, and I just love this movie. It's like one of my favorite Spike Lee movies. It's like once again, it's like one of those other coming of age because you have like the kids, especially the only girl Troy, who has to like help take care of her, her siblings, and while she's like trying to come in, as a young girl in what is it? I think is it Brooklyn, duh, Brooklyn. So stupid. And of course, there's like my one scene where she goes to visit family. It is like I think her aunt, her great aunt, or whatever, and it's the dog. It is Queenie, and just trying to find the dog, and she finally finds the dog. That whole scene is hilarious. So yeah, those are my top five. So yes, if
Uh,
your favorite didn't make the list, please don't fight me in the comments. I am fragile.
Let me, before we move off this,
Mhm.
just quick shout outs. I'm not going to give anything, but I know a lot of, like you said, I know a lot of movies didn't make the list. So
Yes.
shout out to Set It Off. Shout out to Juice.
Yes.
Shout out to
Yes.
Menace to Society. Shout out to Do the Right Thing. Shout out to Poetic
Mhm.
Justice. Shout out to Dead Presidents. Shout out to Jason Lyrics. Shout out to Serafina. Shout out to Color Purple. I just had to when we come to because there's so many. And I don't want people to be yelling at us like, hey, you.
It's like, look, y'all, we only have five. Like, hey, we on a time limit, okay? So
Exactly.
so that's why it's like, please don't yell at us, please don't fight us. This was real quick and short. If we could do it again, we would.
Very
All
good
right,
list on both sides and very good shout outs. So, yes.
yes. All right, y'all. But before we dive deeper into the perspective, you can follow me on X or, as always, Twitter at underscore at KiraXO and on Letterbox at Edna Mode.
Yes. And you can follow me on X, Twitter, and Letterbox at the Hazel Eyed Movie Guy.
All
Come and give
right.
us a follow.
Yes, please give us a follow. I'm like, we are nice. Just love on us, please. We would definitely love
Exactly.
it. All right, now on to the nitty gritty for the folks listening who are like, what exactly is a streaming gem? Brother, break it down for them.
All right, so a streaming gym is something you could have just came home from work, sat down on the couch, and was like, you know what, I'm not tired. I want to watch some TV. And you
Right.
click the Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus, and you just hit whatever's on, and you just fall deeply in love with what you're watching, whether it's a movie, a TV show, and you're just like, I can't believe that
Right.
there's not more promotion behind this, or
Exactly.
there's not enough talk about it. Like my
Thank you.
sister said, Netflix gives us three things to focus on, and that's all they blast us with. Hey, watch this, watch this, watch this. But you wonder why they're not talking about the other shows. So that's what a streaming gem is, something that you feel is underrated and should get shout out
Exactly.
a lot more than it has been.
Exactly.
So with that being said, what I did was I took Netflix, I took Hulu, and I took Prime Video and I got one movie and one TV show. So starting out with Netflix, it is a movie
Oh,
called. Go ahead.
oh no, you're good.
Oh,
Go
oh,
ahead.
okay. I heard you make a up. No, like I was fumbling or messing up. I just okay. So starting
I
with
mean,
Netflix.
you did, but go ahead.
See, guys, I follow rules like elephants fly. I told you.
Go ahead.
All right. So Netflix movie is I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore. And what it is, it's a dark comedy crime caper about a woman fed up with society who teams up with her oddball neighbor. And why is it good watch? It's quirky, it's unpredictable, and it has a heartfelt feel to it, which kind of caught me off guard. It's a gem because it won Sundance, but somehow slipped under most people's radar. Like you win Sundance, you would think it would get more promotion, but it doesn't. So I don't feel at home in this world anymore. On Netflix is my movie. Go watch that one. And my show is Midnight Mass, also on Netflix, and it's a slow burn horror series about faith, addiction, and supernatural dread. It's haunting and it has brilliant acting in it. It's overshadowed by horror hits, and it remains Mike Flanagan's one of his most profound works. So Netflix, I don't feel at home in this world anymore, and Midnight Mass. And as far as Prime Video, the movie I have is You Were Never Really Here. It's a raw thriller starring Joaquin Phoenix as a traumatized fixer.
Okay.
It's intense, it's emotional. The directing in it by Lane Ramsey, I didn't know too much of the work, but it is great directorial. It's overshadowed by bigger thrillers, and it's a must see for cinephiles. I think anybody deep in cinema will love it. And the show I have for Prime Video is called Patriot. It's a deadpan espionage drama and comedy about a depressed intelligence officer. It's weird, which is right up my alley, out of this world kind of stuff. It's weird, witty, and it's like I haven't seen any spy show like this before. It's criminally underwatched, despite being one of Prime's most best original series. Excuse me. So original series, The Patriot, Prime Video. Please give that a watch. And my last streaming service is going to be Hulu Disney Plus. And the movie that I have, which I can't even fathom this being on Disney because I'm like, Disney is for cartoons and talking animals. But this one is called Fresh. It's a stylish horror thriller that starts as a rom-com, but then it takes a crazy turn. It's bold, it's twisted, it's written brilliantly. And the thing that gets me is this is a cult favorite that many like viewers, like I've heard some talk about, but like it's like Hulu and them isn't talking about it, which they should. So, and my show, I'm sure people have heard of this, but The Bear. It's chaotic, it's emotional in the kitchen. Um, it has great acting in it, and it hits home with human. It has all the human emotion you need. Season one was underrated, but watch season 1, 2, and 3, and make your own opinion of because it is a great show. And
Everybody watches.
yeah. I
That's
couldn't
not
think of
really underrated, but
I couldn't think of a show. I said season 1 was underrated. Before, okay, I forgot to say before the hype. Before the show, like everybody didn't. Anyway, it's the Bear. Leave it alone. Apple TV, Severance. That's my show for that. It's a surreal corporate thriller about splitting work life and home consciousness. It's stylish, smart, and it's very addictive. My sister put me onto it, and I just went full tilt, streaming 3 seasons in like 3 or 4 days. It was just crazy. Um, it started as a sleeper, but I think it's gaining traction now that it's kind of a hit. But if you have not heard of it, please go watch it. And that is my last of them. As far as that one, what do you have, sis?
oh no, I was like looking at what you were talking about, and I'm
Oh,
like, I remember seeing Fresh because I saw Fresh at Sundance, which I ended up falling in love with because I've been a fan of Sebastian Stan. I actually wrote about this movie too.
about
Like
front?
20, yeah, because Fresh because this came out in 2022. So
Yeah.
I wrote about this after seeing it at Sundance because then I watched it again on Hulu. Um, I felt like this movie should have kind of at least got like a limited release or at least just got released, period. Because I actually enjoyed this movie because it does kind of like you said started off as a rom com and then it just goes like completely left like by the end of the movie, which I love. And I think that was like the first time where it was like seeing Sebastian Stan just like lean into a role. I mean, he always leans into one, but for someone playing this kind of a character who starts off as charming and just someone you can trust, and he comes out as this completely opposite person. So, I feel like I do agree. Like everybody should watch Fresh. Like seriously, like watch it because it's one of them kind of like weird, quirky, horror movies. And it also makes you look at dating completely different as well too. It's like it makes you want to be careful. Um,
The crazy thing is, my wife and I sat down to watch it because we thought it was gonna be a rom com. And I was like, oh, let's put it on. Yeah, and we didn't know what it was. I didn't read the detail of it and
yeah,
watched it. And I was like, this is a movie she liked because she always watched Marvel movies and action movies. And I was like, let's put on a rom com for us to sit down and watch. But boy, when we got into it, we was like, what? But we both ended up loving it. And like you said, it definitely should have went to the theaters. But yeah,
yeah.
she was like, "You are not allowed to pick movies anymore without reading what it's about."
That's hilarious. And also, Midnight Mass has been on my list for so long because I always hear people talking about it, and I love everything that like Mike Flanagan has done because
Yeah,
he's did the Haunting of Hill Manor, he did the Haunting of Bly Man, or not. That's at the Hill Manor. The Haunting of Hill House. There we go.
yeah,
The Haunting of Hill House and the Haunting of Bly Manor. There we go.
which
Um,
was two great ones.
yeah, those are like awesome. Like I love those. So I definitely know that I want to see Midnight Mass. I know it's only one season, which is kind of like upsetting because I kept hearing like good things about it. Um so I'm definitely gonna have to check that one out now that you talked about it, and now
Yeah,
that
definitely.
but I knew it was a mini series, so I'm like, I guess it wasn't like just I guess it's just one off. So either way, 7 episodes. I would definitely check it out. Damn, I didn't know it's been almost 5 years. Okay, I
Yeah,
guess I might as well go ahead and
yeah, it's been a
watch.
minute. But don't fret, I got into it late too because I heard so many people talking about it. But
Right.
I thought it was just season one, and then people were
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, it doesn't have a season two." So I was like, if I get invested in it and there's no season two, I'm gonna be mad. But then, like you said, it's a limited. I found that out and I
Yeah.
watched it, and I was like, "Yep, I should have watched this earlier."
I was like, well, shit. I'm like, all right, then I guess I'll just go ahead and just sit back and just watch it.
Exactly.
All right. So for me, I was trying to go like I was trying to go ham and try and do five, but I'm just gonna go with what I get. So, starting off, it's one from Paramount Plus. Um, I don't think a lot of people talk about it, and which is kind of nuts. Um, it's Mayor of Kingstown,
Yeah.
and it's with Jeremy Renner. You have what's her name? Who was the mom? I'm like drawing a blank. Let me look. So you got Jeremy Renner. That's her name. Diane Weist. You got Aiden Gillian. You got Kyle Chandler. You have Michael Beach. You got Lenny James, and you got Eddie Falco. But I'm just gonna say some of the people that I did rattle off, they do show up later on in the season, as this show has already been on for 4 seasons. It's going to be ending here soon with this fifth and final season. Just to give you a quick rundown of what it is, it's Kingstown, Michigan. Of course, it's a fictional company town where the business is incarceration. You got the McLux the the McLusky family, who's been keeping the peace in Kingstown for decades, at the ex-mediator between the street gangs, the prisoners, the guards, and the cops. Um, they tackle the themes of racism, corruption, mental illness, and violence, and it provides a stark look at their attempt to bring order and justice to a town that has neither. So of course you can get it as a crime thriller because that's what it is. It's dramatic. It's the same guy, Taylor Sheridan, who made Yellowstone, so you can already get a feel of what that's gonna be like. So it's one of them shows, like if you are into, like, I guess you can say, like into like the procedural like cop drama, like if you're not looking for something that's like not like Law and Order or anything like that, something that's more grittier, this would be the show that you would want to watch. So
I
for
have to
another,
admit, I have not
yeah.
watched that one. I have to admit that I have to get into it, but that is on the
Yes,
list.
yes, it's a good one. It starts off look, it starts off crazy as hell. There's like the one character you're thinking, because like when they first showed the series, it was like they made you seem like this one character was like, okay, he gonna be the main. Nope, it's like he not like the way the show started off. It was like, okay, so that's the role you guys are gonna go. But it's good though. It just from the first season all the way now. I thought the show would probably like drop because sometimes these kind of shows do drop, but I think they keep the momentum going, and I'm kind of happy that it is going into like the fifth season because I'm like you really can't keep pushing these kind of shows because sometimes it's like you'll get to the point that it just starts to get like okay, like repetitive. So I'm kind of happy that
Yeah.
they're gonna just end it like at the fifth season, and hopefully they tie it up, nicely with a bow. So my other one will be the latest so far. I don't know how many people have heard about this one. It's on Apple TV because, mind you, Apple TV has a lot of like shows, a lot of movies, and I don't think that a lot of people have heard heard about because I don't think people heard about this one. My mom hasn't even heard about this one. Like, mom hasn't even heard about this, and I think I turned a friend onto it when I posted the trailer for the second season. So my other pick, like I said, from Apple TV is Monarch: Legacy of Monsters. Um, See, just by the look on your face, you're just like,
Yeah.
huh, what is this
I
it?
thought we were going back to Lord of the Rings time. I was like, huh?
Nah. So Monarch is Legacy of Monsters. It is actually connected. It's canon to the MonsterVerse, which is Godzilla and King Kong.
Yeah.
So this is like just so you know, with Godzilla and King Kong, it's with the reboot from like Kong, Skull Island, and then Godzilla from 2014. So
Yeah.
just to give you a little rundown. So so this one is Monarch Legacy of Monsters. The premise is in 2015, 1 year after the reemergence of Godzilla, half siblings Kate and Katara Randa investigate their missing father Hiroshi's connection to Monarch, the covert organization monitoring the giant monsters known as Titans, or I think it's Muto. How do you say that? Mutos, how the massive identified terrestrial organism. So 2 generations earlier, Bill Miranda and Kiko Mura are scientists involved with the early development of Monarch. Former Army officer Lee Shaw becomes a close ally to the Randa family across both time periods. So you got this show starring Anasawa. If you have not seen Shogun, she was the lead on that show, and she did get an Emmy for that win.
Hmm.
So she is now the star on this show. You have Kiersey Clemens, you have Mari Yamamoto, you have Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell as well in this show. It ran for 1 season. It's coming back for a second season at the end of the month. So basically, like I said, it's just canonical towards the MonsterVerse with Godzilla and King Kong. It just gives you more of a story of what goes on, basically in between the movies, because you had Godzilla, then you had Kong, Skull Island, and then you had Godzilla versus Kong, and then you had Godzilla and King. Like, we had all these movies in between, and so it was kind of nice and refreshing to like have a show that like shows like, okay, this is what was going on while everything else was happening. So it goes back and forth from like it says, it goes on for like a few generations. So it goes from like the 1950s back to like like the early 2010s, and then sometimes it'll go like into the 60s, 70s. It's like it goes back and forth. So it's one of those shows that it connects everything kind of beautifully with the movies, and I'm kind of happy to see how the second season is going to go because I did enjoy the first season. The first season is like 10 episodes, and they do it episodic. So I like the fact that they do it weekly instead of like just throwing them all at once, so you have something to chew on. So it's been like a 2 year, just like a 2 year gap in between of waiting. So I almost totally forgot about it until they like showed a trailer. Like, they just recently showed a trailer. And
Yeah.
that's the one thing I hate about Apple TV is that they don't push their shows. They don't push their movies. They just are like selective of what they push. And it sucks because I'm like, who is behind y'all? Like, who's behind y'all shit? Like, who
Marketing.
like who does marketing? Because I'm like, y'all do a shit job at marketing. Like, y'all don't do nothing at all. Like, especially for something like this. like it's Godzilla and King Kong. Like
Yeah, it should
you
be
should be
huge.
you should be pushing this. Like, and I'm like, and I feel like, and then you got Kurt Russell who's like who's on this show too, and it's just like y'all not pushing this show.
Yeah, you got a
What is going on?
superstar, Kurt Russell. It's not just
Like,
like
what are
you got
y'all
random.
doing? Yeah, exactly. It's not like you got some random people on your damn show. Like, so that was like a little disappointing, but I'm like I said, I'm kind of excited to see what they do for the second season because this first season was pretty phenomenal. Even though they like kept King Kong and like Godzilla kind of under wraps just a little bit. They're not like all the way through it, but I think with the second season, I think we might be seeing a little bit more. I hope we
Yeah,
do. And when I think there's like another monster that we're gonna be seeing this season, so kind of excited for it. So I'm like ready to see what they're getting ready to do. And I think they're gonna do like a prequel series dealing with Russell's character, who happens to be his son's character too, because his son actually plays a younger version of
oh, plays
him
on that makes
on
sense.
here. So I love that. Um so I'm kind of like I said, I'm excited for this next season. Um
And the crazy thing is that I feel like this whole list could be full of Apple TV shows because every time you tell me about a show and I go
mhm.
watch it, I'm like, what the hell? Where was the
Right.
talk about this? And it's
Right.
just like this one, and then you put me on the Severance, and then there was a couple of
Yeah.
other ones and it's like y'all just
Right.
don't care. Y'all just like, hey, we putting
Right.
out great shows. If you want to watch it, if don't, hey,
Yeah, just it's like it's whatever. It's like whatever you want is whatever you like, but it's like it is what it is. Another one of mine that me and mom enjoyed watching. I actually enjoyed watching this one. It's another one that's Apple TV. Like Apple TV, get on your shit. Start promoting your shows. But it's another one, and it's called Palm Royale. Um, this one is a period comedy drama television series. This is like I said, it's another period piece. It's in 1969, where an ambitious woman aspires to cross the line between the haves and the have-nots to secure her seat at America's most exclusive, fashionable, and treacherous table, Palm Beach High Society. So you got Kristen Wiig from Saturday Night Live. Like, come on, y'all! Like Kristen Wiig. You got the great and the phenomenal Carol Burnett. Like, come on, like the comedic queen here. You got Kaya Gerber, which is Cindy Crawford's daughter. You got Leslie Bibb. You got Ricky Martin. You got Josh Lucas. You even got Laura Dern. Oh wait, hold on. You got Academy Award winner Laura Dern and Academy Award winner Allison Janney. Um, on this show. Which, like I said, Apple TV really was not pushing this show at all. Um, I'm still trying to figure out how I even got how I got onto it. I because I think it's because the cast. I think I fell in love with the cast, and I'm a big fan of Kristen Wiig. This is another show that came out like 2 years ago. Like I said, it's only been on for 2 seasons. It's 10 episodes. The last season was season 2. It literally just came on at the end of the year. It just finished out last month. It's funny, it's dramatic, it's fun, it's sunny because you're in Palm Beach. I think what is it, Palm Beach, Florida? Yeah, right, yeah, right, yeah. Right? Yeah, yeah. I'm so stupid. Palm Beach, yeah, you got Palm Beach, Florida. Like I said, it's like it's like the late 60s. So you got that feel of like the fashion, the clothing, just just a lot of fun. And of course, like you said, it's like it's the have and the have not. So you have like a rich, and of course with Kristen Wiig's character, she's like somebody who's coming from, she's coming from like I wouldn't say the gutter, like I would say like the trailer park kind of girl, like Southern, like she like trying to find her place in this, in this town, or like you might as well just stay in this club. Just the thought of just wanting to be, wanted, desire, just being like one of the ones, just watching her go through like all these hilarious things, just to be like, I guess you could say the top 1%. Um, it was crazy because it's just like a lot of stuff that was going on. That was like you got the FBI, you got just You got like dirty money. Just it was just like a lot of stuff that's going on in the show, and it just sucks that it's not being pushed. Once again, Apple TV, get on your shit. Like, stop pushing your shows. Like, damn, like get people to know your stuff because I don't think a lot of people know about this show, which is kind of it's upsetting because it's it's a good show. Because I'm like, it's been on for 2 seasons, and I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna be coming back for another one, but it would be nice to see it come back for like maybe like one more season, and then we call it.
And it's like Apple Plus is doing their writers, directors, and actors a disservice because, like you said, these
Right.
shows are great and they should have more eyes on them. But because you can't even
Mm-hmm.
put out a commercial or something, just like do a trailer for for the TV show
Right.
and put it out, people will watch it. But because they're not doing that, there's limited amount of eyes on the shows
Right.
that could be getting so much more
Right.
airtime and viewership.
So I was just like, I was like upset because I was like, how do like y'all just like, and you have like I said, you have like you have like this stacked cast, and it's like y'all not pushing it for nothing.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I'm like, if y'all give it a chance, please watch it. Um, and for my last one, it's off of Netflix. Like surprisingly, I'm like, I finally like I have something off of Netflix.
I thought you were gonna go Apple TV again.
I mean, I almost thought about it, but I was like, let me back off of Apple TV for a
Yeah.
minute. Um, I would have to say it's another show I don't think many know about. It's a show called Trigger. It's a South Korean drama. I was like shook when I saw this because I just saw a trailer for it one day, and I was just like, oh, what the fuck is this? It was like really good when I saw it. So just to give you a rundown real quick, it's as illegal firearms flood into a let me try this again, y'all. As illegal firearms flood into a gun-free South Korea, a resolute cop and a cunning arms broker find themselves at odds in a tense showdown. So the series is only 10 episodes, and Netflix just pushed it out all on one day. It came out at the end of July of last year. And yes, just so y'all know, it is subtitled. Please watch it subtitled. Do not watch it dubbed because it's not gonna look right. It's just gonna look stupid. It's gonna sound stupid.
Yeah.
just if you got the time to sit down and watch um less than like an hour, because I think the last episode is the one that's like close to an hour, because half of these episodes are not even an hour. They're like maybe a little bit under an hour. So it's not even gonna take you that long to get through them, because it's like I think we started watching them and we were like, okay, we were like, one more, all right, one more, all right, one more. It's like, and we just kept saying, all right, we're gonna watch one more and we're gonna go to bed. And it just kept going. It was just like, it's like I gotta go to bed. It was one of those shows where it just like kept you like interested, because like I said, it's like you're in a country where it's gun free, and then all of a sudden it's like these people are finding these guns like sent
Yeah.
to them, and it's like there's like a couple of stories in there where it's like you got bullies who are like, you got these kids who are getting bullied, and it's like there's nothing they can do to like to like defend themselves with. So then you got a gun, and then it's like this one kid who's like studying, like he is like literally stressing out for like this class that he's in, and he's like in this apartment complex. And it's like a war zone in there, and so it's like any little thing is setting him off, and so he ends up with a gun, and it's just like these people are like popping up with guns that it's like, okay, like these are the type of people you don't want to see with guns, because it's like, it's like, okay, we're putting these in like the right hands, and it's like a lot of chaos, and it's just like, and also the cop that's in this as well, he was a former military sniper and he's turned to a police officer, so he doesn't like messing with guns anymore, so it's a
Yeah.
lot of that too. So it's, I guess you could say it, you might as well say it's harrowing. It's a little bleak. Um, there are times where it can be dark, because I'm like, it's gun violence, so it's like you got
Yeah.
to deal with that. So it's like some moments can be a little dramatic, but it's such a good show because it's just showing you like what people will go, what people are going through, and then what will happen when they're pushed, to the brink. And so I think everybody should just at least give it a try. I'm like, hey, if y'all can sit and watch Squid Games, y'all can sit and watch Trigger.
Uh,
So, did you have anything, brother, to add? If not,
I have a shout out. It's a
uh huh.
Showtime. It's Showtime. It ran from 2013 to 2020. One of my all-time favorite shows. Ray
Uh huh.
Donovan.
Oh my
Ray
God,
Donovan.
yes, dude.
With oh my God, that was such a great show. It was a Liv Schreiber. Is that I'm
Yep.
saying his name right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He was a professional fixer for the Los Angeles Elite. And
Yes.
eventually the show moved to New York, but all the
Mm-hmm.
chaos pretty much happened in Los Angeles and his family's he has a family that's going through so much turmoil, and then there's a long lost brother that gets thrown in there, and it's one of the
Mm-hmm.
best shows I've ever watched. Unfortunately, I didn't, and it lasted till 2020, like I said, and it ended. And the way it ended, it made people mad. But so they were like, okay, people are pissed off at us, so let's just give them a whole movie to wrap it
Mm-hmm.
all up. And
Yes.
it just that movie did it, and it was Ray Donovan. Everybody, Ray Donovan, one of the best out there. Watch it, please.
That is so. I'm like, I'm so happy you brought that up because that was me and Mom's show. Like, we
Oh my God.
loved Ray Donovan. Like, I had to be front and center at that TV every Sunday when that show came on. Oh my God, that show was so good. I was so mad when it ended. And yeah, I was like, how y'all just gonna end it the way y'all did? And I was kind of happy. They
Yeah.
were like, well, you know what? We're gonna just bring it back one more time and just end it with a movie. I was like, thank you. Because I was like, that last season was just that last season was a lot because it was like I think everything was going on with his wife and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was just like it's like we don't want to give anything away because if y'all haven't watched it, but that
Yeah, because I could say some family stuff about that show that is just like
yeah.
what, but yeah, it has a lot of, and like some of the family stuff is really based on real world
Yeah,
stuff, like, and it's
right.
just great. So yes, Ray Donovan, watch it, watch it, watch it.
And then I totally forgot there was another one that me and mom watched that we like fell in love with, and also we were pissed off because we literally thought that this show was supposed to come back. It was supposed to be back for a third season, and then they canceled it. So I was really upset about it. Um, it was called The Nick. Um,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
another period it's another period medical drama. This is back in the 1900s in New York City. It's the hospital that's called the Knickerbocker. It operates with inventive surgeons, nurses, and staff who struggle against the limitations of medical understanding and practice to minimize morbidity and mortality. And of course, you got this one doctor who is trying to balance his addictions with cocaine and opium, and with his ambition for like medical discovery and his reputation against his peers. And then, of course, you add in a Harvard educated, Black American surgeon who's like more qualified than any other candidate, and he's trying to fight, with the respect of this all white hospital staff, and of course, being in a racially charged city. So just watching this cast, mind you, which you got Clive Owens, you got Andre Holland, you got Jeremy Bobb, you got Eve Houston, who happens to be the daughter of Bono.
mhm.
You got Michael Andrew Gariano. You have Chris Sullivan. The list goes on and on and on. Like this show was pretty great. It only lasted for 2 seasons. I was disappointed when they did announce that it was supposed to get picked up, but then like 2 years after the second season, they finally announced that it got canceled. Um, so I was like really upset about that because this was something that I was not expecting. But I mean, at the time it was Cinemax, and I'm like, Cinemax get away with murder at this point. So it was just another one of them like dark kind of dramas, and of course, I mean, it's done by Steven Soderbergh. Like, if you ever seen anything by Steven Soderbergh, I'm like, it's pretty much. I'm like not surprised by how it was shot because it just has his name stamped all over it. So I actually just wish they would have picked this up. Like I really, really, really wish they would have picked it up. But I also heard they were supposed to do like a spin-off series, but we'll see. Because that was like 3 years ago. So
Oh yeah,
I'm
that
just
might be dead.
yeah. So it's like I feel like this is just gonna. It's like let's just let it go. But I just wish that they would have, you know, they would have just kept it going just a little bit longer. So, but I forgot there's like another one. I like
Always
okay.
like every time we do one of these segments or anything, there's always like, okay, I should have put this on there. That's why you just gotta throw it out there.
You're right. So it was another show that I was like really disappointed that got canceled too. And of course it's like it was our people. And I hate when one of our shows get canceled because it's like if y'all would have just gave it just another chance, I think that we would have had something. um but it's the show that was on Peacock. And I really wish they would have just gave the show its legs because it like they did not give it a chance to walk like whatsoever. But it's called Grand Crew. It's basically about a group of friends out of LA. They're let me just say they're young black professionals in LA. They all come together and they all hang out at a wine bar. And they just talk about like everything that goes on in their life, like when it comes to like love, family, friends, whatever. Um, and it's just how can I say it? It's I think it's like four. Is it four? No, it's six. I think yeah, six. Yeah, three. Yeah, four guys, two girls. So you got Noah, Nikki, Sherm, Anthony, and Wyatt. Wait, that's five. Yeah, that's five. I said six. It's five. So yeah, so you have five. So it's five friends, and in the cast consists of who do we got? We got Echo Kellum. We have Nikki, not Nikki. Sorry, we have Nicole Pryor. We have Jesse Cunningham, Aaron Jennings, Carl Tart. And these are the friends that like that's like uh, they're the grand crew, you might as well say. And of course, it's a comedy. I just wish that they would have pushed it a little bit more because this show was hilarious. Because it's just like, I guess you could say it's kind of like Insecure, but just for NBC. So you're like cutting out a lot.
Yeah.
But it was just a funny show. You're just watching a bunch of like 30 something year olds just like trying to figure out life in LA, trying to figure out like their careers, like I said, their love lives, and just, just being like friends. Like I don't want to say it's like I don't want to say they're like friends, but like not even friends. I would say like a new like in living single, but
Right.
just for for the newer generation. You know what I mean? So it just
Yeah.
kind of like sucked that they just let this show go after two seasons because I thought it was hilarious. And I don't think their views were that bad, and they had good ratings. So that was another reason why I was like another one bites the dust. And I just wish they would have, tried with that show, and they didn't. And I don't want to be that person, but I feel like with black shows they really don't try. So yeah, that's one for Peacock. Um,
How
I
long
agree.
ago did that? How long ago did?
That one came out in 2022, and then the
Okay.
second season came out in 2023, and then
Oh, so not that far, not that long
yeah,
ago.
no, it wasn't that long ago. Um, which was like I'm like upset about it. But also, I'm like I just thought of another one. Like, see, this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna just start thinking of stuff, and I'm just like, and another one. Um, but it's another one that came out. No, came out in 2024. I even reviewed this one too, and I hate that this show got canceled because of the fact that it did get phenomenal reviews. Everybody loved it. It only lasted for one season before Hulu decided to cut the plug. Like Hulu, I'm outside your house, dog. Like straight up outside your house. But it's my girl Natasha Rothwell. If you ever watched White Lotus, she was the oh my god, I'm like drawing a blank. She was Belinda. She was one of the staffs at the hotel. If anybody saw it, or like Insecure, she played the friend Kelly. This was her show, How to Die Alone. Um, it was a series that follows a woman who has never been in love and decides to change her life after a near death experience. So the rest of the cast has Conrad Rickamora, Jocko Sims, and Kaylin Durrell Jones as well. When, like I said, came out in 2024 of September. And like I said, the series got positive reception. And literally, probably almost 6 months later, the show got canceled. And I am very, like I said, devastated because this show was funny. It had its moments of like, just trying to figure out who you are, like, because she had like a near death experience. So she's like, okay, like after that just happened, like, what am I doing with my life? How can I change things to make my life better? Like, she was just she was like reevaluating everything and like how to live her life and how to do things that she's never done before, like, falling in love. So it was just one of those good shows. And I loved like the beginning of the show as well because it was like giving moments of like just, regular people just talking about whatever the theme was of like the episode of that, of the series. And just being able just to watch her maneuver in life, and the way it ended too was like on a cliffhanger. So it was just like sucky because it's like her life was turning around and then all of a sudden it's just over. And I hated that. Like, I
Yeah.
literally hated that. Like, I just wanted more. Like, only 10, not 10 episodes, sorry, only 8 episodes, and that was it. And I just wish that they get a new home. It'd be nice for them to find a new home because once again, this was another show that did not get its legs to walk. Like, they did not give this show a chance to grow, like, at all. And I hate that. And I hate that they did that to a black show like this because it was a good show.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah. So once again, shame on you, Hulu.
And you
Shame on you.
said that one ended after one season or two?
Yeah, it's one, just one. It was
One.
only 8 episodes, and it ended on
Oh,
a
dang.
cliffhanger, and that's what sucks because that
That's the
cliffhanger was a
worst.
good cliffhanger. I was just like, please bring this show back, like, please.
I think
But
when shows end on cliffhangers like that, they should give us like if it's season one episode 8 and it's a cliffhanger. Sheesh. They should give us season 2 episode 1 and then just end it right there. Like, don't do any more, but just fix this cliffhanger so we don't have to just keep wondering what could happen or whatever. Because I hate when they do that.
yeah, so it's like don't do this to me, man. Like, come on.
You sitting
But yeah,
thinking of what could happen. You writing your like choose your own
right.
adventure for the rest of your life because you don't know what's
Right.
going on.
Yeah. So you're just sitting there dumb, just like, okay, like, so what's going on? Like, do we know? Like, no, I'm just gonna have to be like, okay, so such and such did this and they did that and then they lived happily ever after. That's how I'm gonna
Or
end it. Just like
or
this.
even if they don't put out like a season 2 episode 1, at least do a write up. Do a write up and
Right.
give people a choice to read. Okay, this is what happened. This is okay.
Right. Then
Like,
I can
dang,
have some kind of closure or something. Don't just leave me
exactly.
high and dry because when you leave somebody high and dry, you get pissed off because it's like, okay, so you just gonna leave the show like that, and then y'all just gonna be like, all right, we're gonna cut the plug. I'm like, yeah, y'all just gonna have to figure out what happened at the end. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
And
no.
the people who decide to pull the plug, I'll be like, did you not watch the last episode? Do you not know it ended in a cliffhanger? Like,
Yeah, it's like,
you're
y'all,
okay with that? Like, you're okay doing
right.
that to your fans? Like,
It's
yeah,
like, you sure
it's
you want to do
crazy,
that?
right?
It's like, give
Right.
us something to be like, okay, here you go. This is how this ends. It's over. That's it.
Or put out a YouTube short so I don't even gotta read them. I can just
Yeah.
listen to you guys talk about it. That's
Yeah,
it.
so it's like,
Like,
so yeah,
damn.
at the end of season one, this is how this ended. So, like, how we picked up, it went like this. Like, all right, just leave it like that. Just
Exactly. If it
give
would have
me
got a season
something.
2, this is what would have happened. Oh, okay. Got you on my good grace.
Yeah, like, yes, I'm like, I will watch everything else that you have put out, sir. Like, just keep it going.
Right.
So, brother, did you have any other ones to shout out?
No, but this is another like one of those lists that can go on forever because so many good shows just get snatched away
They do,
when they're writing the best parts or when they need to be continued. But like I
right?
said, we put out some good ones and then our honorable mentions. So yeah, that's all I got right now.
All right, y'all. And if you haven't seen at least one of these, congrats. You got plans this weekend.
Yes, your weekend is going to be full. If you haven't seen more than one, you might just have to call out a couple of days. But before we wrap up, sis, is there one thing you want people to either get into immediately or maybe something you want them to Stop acting like it's good and just get over it.
All right, so I also reviewed this. I recently just watched it. I'm a little disappointed that this series came out the same day as the Super Bowl because I don't think anybody really heard anything about it. But I will have to say, it's it's a series adaptation of the same film, named after it's an adaptation of the 1980 film of the same name, which I have not seen yet, and I know I'm like you probably gonna be like, what? Like, you need to. But anyway, the show is The Birds.
Oh my
Um,
God, with Tom Hanks?
yes.
You have,
uh,
oh my God.
see, I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming. I knew, and I even said it at the top of my review. I was like, I don't know nothing about the '89 movie with Tom Hanks. I don't
Nothing?
know shit. I
Oh
was like,
God, it's one of the funniest. All right, yeah, you gotta watch that.
and that's what's crazy because even Candy, our friend Candy, she's like, yeah, she's like, I love she was like, I love this one. She's like, do you know if I'm gonna like the show? I was like, look, I don't know nothing about this movie. I just know about the show. I'm like, you can take it how you want. I'm like,
Oh
I
no.
don't know, but anyway, the adaptation, it stars Kiki Palmer and Jack Whitehall. The reason, if y'all have not figured out the reason why I watched this show is because of Kiki Palmer.
Keke Palmer, yeah.
Look, like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I saw her name attached to it. I was like, okay. Also, I know who Jack Whitehall is. He's a British comedian. Well, sorry, not British, English comedian actor. Um, and he's hilarious. So these two together, I actually love their chemistry. It actually works. But just to give a premise, just real quick, it's old secrets resurface when a newly married couple relocate to the suburban neighborhood of the husband's youth. So of course, obviously, Kiki Palmer and Jack Whitehall's characters, Samara and Rob, are married. They moved back to Rob's old, his old hometown. He's back in like his family home, and of course, there's a house across the street. Spooky shit starts to happen when they move back into town. So of course, with Samara, she is like on maternity leave. So her and the ragtag team of the neighbors, they start working on like this year's mystery that had went on in town, and so she's trying to get to the bottom of it. Um, it goes on. I think it was eight. Was it 8 episodes? I think. Hold on. Was it eight? Yeah, it was 8 episodes. They just ran them all on the same day at Super Bowl night. Um, I felt like this was another show that did not get any like press, like no like marketing, no nothing. um I felt like that was like a little bit of a disappointment because you literally have like Kiki Palmer like at the front, like you're gonna try and tell me y'all not gonna push this show, and then on top of
Yeah.
that you got Seth MacFarlane from Family Guy and American Dad and Ted, that he was an executive producer, and you got
Oh,
Brian Grazer, as in Brian Grazer and Ron Howard, like that Brian Grazer as a producer too, who produced the original film. So
yeah, I didn't
it's
know they
like
were all
so
involved.
yeah, so it's like y'all not pushing it, and like even the night of the Super Bowl, I don't even know. I'm trying to think if I saw a trailer for it. They probably did because that's their channel. But it's like if they did, I wasn't paying attention to it, so I was just like a little disappointed that they weren't really pushing this show. And then on top of that, I actually kind of like the fact that they did run them all together instead of doing it weekly, because this is like the kind of show that you can like just like, oh, it's like one of those kind of like mystery shows, and it's like the ones that you can just like binge through, like The
Yeah.
Residence or like The After Party, which is another show by the way that was on Apple TV that should have got pushed. But yeah, it's like one of those shows. Like I don't think it should have been like weekly, which I'm kind of glad that it's not. They just did it like all at the same night. And also, this was another one that ended on a cliffhanger too. So I'm just
No.
like, please, please. I thought it was a mini series. Like I swear to you, I literally thought this was like a limited series. I didn't think it was gonna be like an actual like series. I thought they were gonna
Yeah.
like tie this up nicely with a bow at the end of the eighth episode, because that's what they started it off with. They made it seem like it was gonna end, but then they were like, oh no, it's like we got you, like we're gonna keep it going. So it was just like I really hope that they keep it like they just like maybe just like a second season, like a
Yeah.
second season, and that's pretty much like all they'll need, because this is like one of those shows I don't really think that they should just like, keep like, yeah, let's keep going. But I do love the fact that the numbers for it, they did really good, because which I did not know. Um it got it was nearly 1 billion minutes viewed since its launch, which
Yeah.
was, like I said,
Really good.
Super
Yeah.
Bowl Super Bowl Sunday. And I was right. There was only a small mention at the end of its of the show after the Super Bowl, because like it was on the streamer post game. So, but it was pretty great because it ranked number 2 on the streaming original during its first full week. Um it had the highest day one for a Peacock original ever, and it had the best launch day for any new streaming original series this year based on minutes viewed. Which I'm shocked, because I was just like, who really heard of this show? But it looks like people have heard of it and they tuned in and they're watching it. So with achieving nearly 1 billion viewing minutes, I'm like, it has to come back for a second season. And if it does
Yeah.
not come back from a second season, once again, shame on you, Peacock, because y'all gonna like let something crash or burn, especially if you're doing numbers like this. Like, don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. Just like make it work, like make it happen, because the show is actually funny. Like the comedic timing on there is pretty deep. It's like it's great. So it's just, I hope that they do pick it up for a second season. I hope it doesn't fall to the wayside. And I just hope that they just keep it at 2 seasons. Um, if they do try and wrap it up in the second season, maybe push it up to 10 episodes instead of 8, just to wrap everything up, because there was like a lot that went on in the first season where like you just can't wrap. I guess you could say you can't just wrap it up in one season. Um,
Yeah.
but so yeah, it's one of those shows that you can just throw on real quick and you can just sit there and you can like just literally just sit there and watch it, because the episodes are like less than an hour. The shortest one is probably like 35 minutes. So these are pretty quick to get through. They're fun. There's sometimes it could be a little cringe. It can be a little corny. But I mean, I'm like, what do you expect? But I think everybody should at least watch it if they like. Look, I don't know about the movie. Maybe once I watch it and then I'll
Which we're
understand.
not going to allow you to
But
continue to say. We're just not going
but
to completely.
if you are a fan of the movie, I say give the TV show a chance. I'm like,
Have they announced any or given any kind of hint that there's going to be a season 2, or is it just like,
no, they haven't really mentioned anything quite yet. That's the only thing as of lately that I've heard is about the numbers that it achieved with their viewing and everything. They haven't like
yeah,
really like announced like, oh, there's gonna be a second season, because sometimes there can be shows that hasn't even started yet and they'll be like, oh, it's already been renewed for a second season. Like, how the hell does that work? Just like I think with the show Fallout, like that show just, yeah, that's another show
oh
too.
yeah,
That show's awesome if you have not watched
yes,
it. Because I think that show, yeah, it got like ahead of the second season premiere. It already got renewed for a third season.
third season,
And,
yeah,
and it's like, oh shit. So I mean, I understand why, because the show is good, mind you. So,
yeah, very good.
so yeah, so I'm like, I really do hope it does get picked up, because I'm like, we need to see. I'm like, even though Kiki is like doing like that girl does a lot of stuff, but it would be nice just to see her like in something like this, because like I said, she does such a good job. So um yeah, if you guys have a chance to watch the Burbs, give it a chance.
All right, anything else on that front from you? No.
Sorry. No, I'm all good.
Okay.
I'm just saying, just watch the Burbs. I think I'll love it. If you're a fan of the movie, please just give it a chance. You might like it.
I got a show that I'm not really gonna go that in depth in because I wasn't prepared. It just came off the top, and then I have a movie that I just saw yesterday that we're gonna talk about for the show, Paradise. I'm sure that a lot of people have seen it, but Paradise is coming back on Monday, season 2. Watch it, guys.
Yay! I'm
Paradise is a
excited.
great, great show. Paradise. So yes, that's that.
Good.
And the movie I saw yesterday was Sin Help, Sam Raimi's latest thriller, horror, comedy with Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. And when I say Rachel McAdams might have done her best work or some of her best work in this, And Dylan O'Brien, he always comes off as like quirky, kind of funny, but in this, he's a tyrant. He's a monster as a boss. And the premise is one employee gets stranded on a desert island with her tyrannical boss, and they must adapt and live with each other and just overcome so many obstacles after a plane crash. Um, it has humor, it has gore, it has just catastrophic events, and it's so funny too. And it has a perfect ending to it. And you guys just please go see Send Help. It did great numbers. The first movie to crack the 50 million mark for 2026. It's grossed over 75 million worldwide on a $40 million budget. It's just a great movie that you can just sit back, turn your brain off, and enjoy, laugh, cringe, and just like get upset because Dylan O'Brien did such a good job. You're gonna hate him after this. So yeah, definitely Paradise, the TV show, and Send Help, the movie.
I love it. Where else? Was it? Nothing else?
Yeah, that's all on that one. A quick little. I know we went in so many, and once again, there's so many other things I could say on this, but quick. We can't be here for 3-4 hours, but we sure could.
Right. I'm like, look, hey, we can go on and on all day, every day about anything. I guess it's like, dog, like we could just be here all day. But I'm like, I don't. It's like I don't want to
Like you said, Fallout. We could talk about that.
Yeah, it's
Because
like
season 2 was just as good as season 1. But I digress.
no, for real. If y'all haven't watched Fallout, it's on Prime Video. Just so you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Catch it.
Just so you know.
And we can talk about the pit. The pit. That.
Just do it. There's another one. Season 2 just started. Like, let's go. Like season 2 already got me in my feelings. Like,
there's so
there's
many
a
of
lot.
them.
Man, just like the new Game of Thrones show that just came on. What is it? The Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Like
with that little bald-headed boy, the bald
Egg. Come on, protect Egg at all costs, bro. Like protect.
Yeah, see, we go. And then there's a show on called Spartacus. It's on what is
picked up. It's All Stars. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like, okay, all right, I get
it. It's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. It's a lot. All right, y'all. And that's another episode of Popcorn and Perspective. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, laughing with us, and letting us talk movies a little too passionately. If you've got questions, topic ideas, or you want to be a guest on the show, don't be shy. Email us at chantel.ashford@hotmail.com or the hazel-eyed movie guy at yahoo.com, and reach out to us on our Twitter page as well. Pop and the letter N perspective.
Yes, and next episode we'll be sitting down, relaxing, and talking about dialogue deep cuts. Now let me explain to you what a dialogue deep cut is. Remember when Jack Nicholson, in one of the greatest Batman movies, the first one there ever was, he said, "Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?" And my lips should fall off immediately because I know I didn't give that the grandeur and everything that it deserves, but that is a dialogue deep cut. Lines within movies that just grab you and stay with you forever. Like when Shrek said, "Better out than in." Those are dialogue deep cuts. So we will dive into those on the next episode.
All right, y'all. And as we always say here at Popcorn and Perspective,
watch the movies.
Love the movies.
And always keep them with you.
Catch you next time.
See y'all.